Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Proud to be Pagan. I'm coming to you from New York State, upstate. As you can see, the snow, it's definitely different from where I was at a couple days ago. But this episode is going to be about living green. This is Stephanie's mom's house, my mother-in-law's house. And she and her husband have created this beautiful green. So the entire house is made of pine, you said? It was pine?
Yep.
Red pine. So it starts off natural, just the actual natural trees straight from the ground, no additives in them like, stuff in your house. So, they don't go through a whole process. This company actually keeps it as natural as possible. That's why they were handpicked by Kathy and Michael. Kathy sitting with Steph. And Michael over here. Alright. So the one thing, again with the pine, there's also, every light bulb in this house is the Mercury acceptable green lights. Every last light. But when you don't have the lights on, the house is built with skylights. That way the natural light comes in, so it saves on your energy there too. So if you are building your own house, try and keep the skylights. It's always a good idea. Michael, you got time to tell us about the house?
Oh, well, let's see. We have concrete countertops. We have my favorite thing, the stove here. This is electromagnetic induction cooktop. So you have to have either cast iron or something that a magnet will stick to. But heats things up really fast. And we have Bosch oven and washer, nice and quiet. The fridge was you have to be careful with fridges because when they say they're Energy Star, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Energy Star fridges, they group them into categories. So a big fat fridge that's Energy Star just means of all the big fat fridges, it's the least fat. So we really shopped around, and this one got some of the lowest energy uses of the fridges that were out there. And so we're happy about that.
All right. I'll let you get your coat off. You can walk me over a little bit. So we're just debating what the floor is made of. Well, the walls and the ceiling, of course, like I said, was made of pine.
It's all red pine. This, I have to admit, I would not recommend just because it's soft. Unless you don't have a dog. If you have a dog.
It's just U.S. We're conscious of our choice.
Right. Because we wanted Brazilian teak, but it was not FSC certified. It's not local. Whereas these craft made, believe it or not, are almost FSC certified. They might even be by now, but when we did it, they weren't quite. And then in the bedrooms, we have bamboo, which is very green, very hard.
Probably the most green you'll find. So
now this is again concrete countertops, and you can see the guy put a nice swirl pattern in it. And the toilets are composting toilets, so there's no water at all. The water basically runs down, and there's a fan running, and it evaporates the water out. And
it keeps the stink.
There's basically the fan keeps the stink out, and there's basically a barrel that you rotate every couple days.
Right,
and when you want to dump it, you basically reverse rotate it, and there's a tray that comes out of the bottom where you take some out and you can compost it. And so
just dump it right in the backyard.
the key is some people get the ones without fans, but if you're going to do that, you really need to run it straight out. We kind of went up and over and out, and you really need a fan if you're going to run that length.
Right. So it's right here, the crank here. Let's see. There it is right there. And you just hand crank it around. Man.
Hand crank it, and you basically add a little bit of this when you do a number 2, if you will.
Just a peat moss or some kind of cedar or something to. So there we go. And the showers are the same thing. Are they the ones that conserve water as well? The shower here.
I don't remember how low flow they are, but they're low flow. Most of the things you can get nowadays are low flow. It's a matter of whether you want really, really, really low flow. There's some pretty ultra low flow. This is what's called ICFs, or insulated concrete forms. It looks like styrofoam, but it's actually made from recycled material. It's about 65% recycled material, and it's supposedly recyclable. Very minimal waste when you're building your house. Kind of builds up like a bunch of linking logs, and you pour concrete down the middle of it, and because of the fact that it's insulated, the concrete cures more slowly. The water evaporation determines the strength of the concrete. They claim that it's potentially 50% stronger because it dries so much slower. The other thing we did, very green, Portland cement is one of the worst things from an environmental. It takes a lot of energy to make it. So we substituted 30% we put in 30% fly ash, and fly ash is a byproduct from the coal. When they burn coal, they used to let it go in the air, now they catch it, and so you put that in. That supposedly makes the concrete 50% stronger as well. And we also did the basement floor with 30% fly ash as well. And this is the radiant hot water system that we have. So basically that goes down into the concrete and it runs up the ceiling. You can't see most of it because it's hidden underneath of the this flashing stuff to provide a reflective barrier, but you can kind of see these are the main pipes, and then you can kind of see things like this that are smaller pipes. The other thing, they actually recommend using this now instead of the copper. They're saying copper's kind of like lead now, that it leaches into the water. Although I thought copper was a mineral we need, so I'm not sure why that's so bad, but the other thing that we did inside the house everywhere was we used this jean insulation. It rolls out just like regular insulation, costs about twice as much as the pink stuff, but of course it doesn't itch, and so I kind of left this here so people could see it. So that was an option we did inside.
So of course, just like I said, the concrete down here, and this is the master bedroom here. Lights.
Kind of dark down here.
Yeah. Gives a nice warm feel.
The other thing that we did with we didn't want to cover the concrete. We wanted the heat to come through as much as possible, so we actually stained it. The same guy who did the concrete also stained concrete as well, so there's kind of this mottled green and brown stain that we did on this.
Yeah, if you can actually feel it with your feet, it's a lot smoother feeling with the stain on it, so. And they're very luxurious green bathroom.
This, again, another concrete countertop down here. Another composting toilet. And I'm not sure how green this is. This is certainly luxurious. It's an air bubbler, so things like Whirlpool actually circulate the water, whereas this doesn't. This actually just blows air in. Quite amazing bit of force through it. It's also got lights, so it's got color therapy in it as well.
So if anything else, it does save water because it doesn't recirculate the water or have to rerun the water. It just reheats it.
Yep. And I don't know if there's anything green about the shower per se. Everything's all tiled here. Our builder, we wanted to do originally tile there, but he wanted to build us a Brazilian teak bench in there, so we're going with that. This must be running. You can always whenever I see this go up into the red, I can always tell this is the incoming, gets hot, and then as it circulates through everything, this is the outtake that flows back, and of course that's a slightly cooler temperature, but you know, you can touch it. I mean, that's pretty warm. That's getting hot to touch that one.
Right.
Whereas this one's quite a bit cooler because it's circulated through all the tubing and
Yeah, so this is all just water. It's heated water. Going
heated
through the
water.
heat.
Yep, just cycles through
And that goes all throughout the ceiling and the floor here.
ceiling, floor, surrounded by water.
We've learned today is just energy conservation, water conservation, and it's just the best start you can do. This is just to show you guys how you can get. There are a couple things like I showed you that aren't quite green, just a nice luxury, but it's always good to have those too. So just keep watching your carbon footprint, and we'll see you next time on Proud to be Pagan.